Good evening and hello. All right. Like the audio the way I want it there. Here we go. This is NashvilleLou Live. Your host, Lou Pickney, here with AEW Fight Forever. Just finished watching AEW Dynamite tonight. I'm sure we'll have some thoughts on that to share with you throughout the evening. So, AEW Fight Forever has been out now for a little less than 2 weeks. So far, I still really enjoy it. And I would say the most fun mode for me continues to be the Casino Battle Royale mode. A 21-person timed entry elimination match that's similar to the Royal Rumble, over the top rope. You get some interesting combinations. You don't get to pick the other competitors, at least not now. Maybe someday they'll change it. So it really is a random draw. Oh, they just ran a profile video tonight on AEW Dynamite about Lance Archer. His matches over in Rev Pro and then New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we'll go with the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, here for this Casino Battle Royale match. I should note that I'm very distrustful of music from video games as far as copyright dings. So I have all the music in-game turned off, and everything I have music-wise is royalty-free. As always, thanks to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. Makes some fantastic royalty-free music.
The following contest is a Casino Battle Royale.
21 of the top competitors are about to put it all on the line for this big Casino Royale match.
Actually, I do have to turn the audio down a little bit there. For the end game gets a little loud if the crowd gets hot. So a 9 of clubs, which is... I mean, they'll just send me out there whenever. It's a... So it's not quite the same. Some people I probably could use their theme music, but again, I've learned to be distrustful of the copyright monsters. If YouTube just says no, there's no way to appeal it. This is AEW Fight Forever. I'm playing as Lance Archer. Got a busy broadcast day ahead for tomorrow. But for the moment, I just get to sit here and watch these four battle. Tomorrow morning, U.S. time, I've got a Blue Mints tournament for Blockchain Brawlers. That tournament starts at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I know it's not the most convenient for folks out on the west coast of the U.S., but when it comes to people playing games in an international setting, you'll never have a time that works great for everybody. But I've really enjoyed those Blue Mint tournaments. So I've got that tomorrow morning. But then my big show of the week is Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 2000 UTC, with Warsake and Blitz. Live player versus player matches. I have people that queue up for hours to play me. It's by far been the game that has resonated more than any other game I've ever live streamed. It's really something. Great community as well. Here comes Aubrey Edwards. See, I wish it'd be great if you could have her in there, like with the gold outfit. But you don't, not only do you not get to pick the people who compete in this match against you, but you also don't get to pick their gear. It just defaults to the... That part leaves something to be desired, the way the outfits are. But I mean, overall, this game is a lot of fun. And as far as for live streaming purposes especially, there's all these entertaining moments that happen in this kind of matches. Aubrey Edwards throws out Hikaru Shida like it's nothing. It's weird, you can't even create a referee. So you've got Aubrey Edwards and Rick Knox, and that's it. And as I noted last week, I don't enjoy intergender wrestling in real life because it's very difficult to make it where everybody comes out looking strong and where it's not uncomfortable as far as the portrayal of violence by men against women. But in a video game, for whatever reason, because you don't have to suspend your disbelief in the same way with a video game. It's like playing Mortal Kombat with Sonya against Scorpion. Street Fighter 2 with Chun-Li in there against Ken. And it's not just the video game versus real life element, because in a movie, like in True Romance, like James Gandolfini's character roughs up Alabama, who's the main female character in the movie. And like if that were to be portrayed a live action sequence, that would be horribly uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable in the movie. And we got a new breaking news. Longing Plateau, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. So last week was my first time to live stream AEW Fight Forever. Again, the game is very much a new game. But I think Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite, it's going to be a really good spot for it. I know a lot of other people will be streaming it around this time as well, but that's fine. So again, as noted, tomorrow morning, it's breakfast time for you in the U.S. Check out my live stream, see how I do in that Blockchain Brawlers tournament. Blue Mint is hosting it at blumint.com. They'll have the brackets and everything. And then tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 20:00 UTC, Warsaken Blitz player versus player matches. Got the prize wheel. I've got a lot planned as far as giveaways go. Really excited about that. The Warsaken community is it's got some tremendous people. Amazing generosity. There's Matt Hardy getting hit with a go to sleep by CM Punk. Aubrey Edwards, I thought she was going to do a drop kick from halfway across the ring. Thought better of it. CM Punk hitting a drop kick off the top rope like it's nothing on Matt Hardy. Ooh, a challenge complete. Don't have to do anything. Just watch. And there goes Matt Hardy. Hey, Rick. Chuck Taylor coming in. It's going great for me. How are you doing? Just started the stream not too long ago after watching AEW Dynamite. And it's fitting. It's the new AEW video game. It's fun to play. This Casino Battle Royale match especially. It's like, as far as things I don't like with the game, the pinfalls, having to mash the buttons. Carpal tunnel's no fun, let me tell you. And I have to type for a living. So if I've got to choose between my livelihood and my video games, then I'll go back to playing some strategy games. And I got spoiled with Fire Pro Wrestling World because in that game, to kick out, you just hold down on a button. Less wear and tear on the controller, less wear and tear on your body. Tammy Teo, thank you for the follow. Likewise, Callum, I think you're going to be coming here in a second. Thank you as well for the follow. Yeah, watch AEW. I'm going to see him when they come to Nashville next month. I went to Chicago last year for Forbidden Door. I love AEW. I mean, there's certain things I don't like, but by and large, it's a great company. How about you? Yeah, I'm not sure with spoilers. Look, once something airs, it's not a spoiler anymore, but I don't want to ruin anybody's experience. And it's that weird thing with AEW where, for whatever reason, PBS and TNT run it on a tape delay, which feels like, again, pro wrestling in some ways feels like it's stuck in 1983. I don't want anybody to talk to me about television from 10 years ago saying live versus tape didn't matter for MMA. This is a new world. It's a world of immediacy if you've got the reach. And AEW has the reach. But, look, it's ultimately a decision by WBD as far as that goes. With that said, I'm really excited about the way it's going to play out next week in Boston. Yeah, the button mash, it's just, like, it annoys me to lose. Like, I get pinned as like a flash pinfall, and then it's like, okay, if I had gone a little bit crazier on the button mashing, maybe I would have had it. But at that point, that it goes against what I like as far as gaming goes. And plus, again, carpal tunnel makes it kind of difficult. But with this, there's not any sort of pinfall. I mean, this takes submissions out as far as tapping out, but it's kind of fun to use somebody like Bryan Danielson and just torment somebody down on the mat for an extended period of time. They can't tap out in a Royal Rumble style match, an over-the-top rope elimination. Say, yes. I was noting there in chat. Tissues, what's going on? Hello. Yeah, tonight's WrestlingLou. I've got a busy schedule coming up with my broadcast. Got this tonight with AEW Fight Forever. Tomorrow morning, Blockchain Brawlers tournament over on Blue Mint, 8 a.m. Eastern, 12:00 UTC, and then 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's talking about Warsaken a little bit earlier. Warsaken Blitz, player versus player. Really excited to get that going. Got so many ideas for giveaways, booster packs, lots of ideas. So it's interesting because I noted this game where you've got, because with the men versus women, you get more, you would think with a limited roster, it's like, oh, here we go again with Retromania. Whereas like you saw the same wrestlers so many times and you couldn't make any sort of creator wrestlers in Retromania because of the way the pixels are. But with this, you've got a lot of variety because, I mean, normally you're not going to get Moxley in there against Aubrey Edwards or Tay Mello in there with Christian. And so that makes for some unique things. And again, the video game element of it, Christian is a springboard to nobody, and there goes Aubrey Edwards. Oh, so you've got Owen Hart unlocked in your game, Rick. I think I'm like 8 wins away from it, or 8 matches. I was actually, when I was doing some stuff to check on the music to make sure I had all the in-game music turned off. Again, not because of how I feel about the music, but because of the copyright monsters. The music I play, I know I'm going to be good with when I try to upload this to YouTube later. I'm not going to have to go through and silence a bunch of stuff or spend a lot of extra time and effort to make it abide by the arbitrary rules of YouTube. Yeah, you got Paul White as well. I've heard that's very difficult. You have to, beat him in like less than 3 minutes? Like essentially you have to like try and win by count out. I've heard people talk about they were very frustrated with it. I've got Brody Lee, and I may use him for the next match. Now that you mention it. So I don't believe I had Mr. Brody Lee unlocked in the game for last week's show. But there's a number of options as far as additional wrestlers that can be potentially added as new content. Not even just going to companies outside of AEW, like a New Japan Pro Wrestling or even with Ring of Honor. I mean, there's so much talent they could add. And I think the nice thing with this is you're going to have this base set of players. And then over time, there'll be new talent. I think they got one with Hook and Danhausen coming out. Danhausen in this game will be interesting. Like, it was interesting to see how they portrayed Orange Cassidy, because it's difficult to do that in a video game. Like, even in Fire Pro Wrestling World, Orange Cassidy, a little bit of a challenge. Seeing that, it's one thing to see a Poison Rana in a game. It's another to see 18-year-old Nick Wayne hit an avalanche Poison Rana on Swerve Strickland from tonight's Dynamite. Like, there's so much, it seems like there's like this wide disparity between promo packages that are amazing and captivating and draw in real life, and then the hokey stuff that is not for me. There, speaking of Orange Cassidy, there he is. So I'm playing as Lance Archer, and my card hasn't been drawn yet. So you got Orange Cassidy, Christian Cage, Nyla Rose, and Jungle Boy. And there's the 4 right now. I would love to be able to play as Jay White, Switchblade. Keith Lee, I know, has got DLC pack, or not pack, at least DLC of him coming out soon. There's the Sloth style from Orange Cassidy. Oh, so you got the first try. Okay, that's encouraging. I haven't played that much as Malachi Black. He was really cool when I met him in real life in Dallas, down in WrestleMania 32 weekend or whenever it was, 2016. So a long time when he was Tommy End. And some of the House of Black stuff I don't quite get, but he's a good worker. Everybody in House of Black as far as the trio between Buddy and Brody King and Malachi. Like, it's one thing to have a game be very challenging, but it's like when it's to the point of being very frustrating, it's a fine line. But you always want what you can't have. And if Paul White were in the game from the get-go, then it'd be, it's just another character. So it does make it a little extra something. And I wonder with people like some of those producers they have that when they were active wrestlers were awesome, like Dean Malenko, Jerry Lynn. So you got Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, Orange Cassidy, Dustin Rhodes. Jungle Boy hanging on for dear life. Asking there in chat, who will be in mentioned the WWE 2K23 DLC. I haven't played 2K23, so I don't know how that is. I know that, it's WWE, so it's in some ways it's like that license to print money. I mean, really at this point, WWE video games, much like their television product, is just not for me. And look, there are plenty of people that like it. Far be it for me to ruin somebody's good time, but I really enjoy Fight Forever when it comes to some of the unique matchups in the Casino Battle Royale mode. They do a great job of making the individual wrestlers feel like the actual wrestlers. And it's not just somebody that you went through and motion captured, and so they all do the moves the same way. It's a lot more difficult in some ways to do it where it's more personalized, but that little extra bit of time makes the fun factor payoff is pretty strong if you can make it work right with a game that people want to play. The creator wrestler it feels like it's intentionally bad. I don't know how else to put it. I'll say this, I was very critical about Road to Elite, and I still am about a lot of it, but I did like the subplot for when you mentioned unlocking Mr. Brody Lee. And they had the video of Brody Lee celebrating after winning the TNT Championship. And it's that weird thing where it's from the pandemic era, and it's a shame that Brody, we lost Brody before he got to see it with the full crowds, and I can only imagine how over he would have gotten if it would have played out differently. But they've got video of him after he won the title. It's really like from a time that was dark in a lot of ways during the pandemic. I'd forgotten about that particular thing, and it was cool to see it in game. And so I'm not going to, Road to Elite's got enough video. I don't want to get a copyright ding from AEW just for playing their game, so I'm going to be careful with that. Just stick to the actual game. But well, that's interesting. They have Bray Wyatt in there as a DLC. Although he was gone for a while, so I guess that does make sense they would have it spaced out like that. Some of those names, is Blair Davenport, was that it's like you have to translate from WWE to real, or the rest of the world. Was it Jamie Priestley? Or B. Priestley. Jamie Priestley's somebody else. Again, that's why they do it with the names, so that they confuse you with it. But so you got Jungle Boy, Orange Cassidy, Dustin Rhodes, and Christian Cage. And with Fight Forever, you only get 4 wrestlers in the ring at a time, so until somebody gets knocked out, with me playing as Lance Archer, just chilling out there in the back, waiting for my name to get called. Yeah, agreed. Agreed with both. I saw Brody Lee and Jay Briscoe, both of them wrestle in person. It was the first Ring of Honor show I ever went to was in 2008, the first time they ran Nashville. That era Ring of Honor ran Vanderbilt's gymnasium, like where their basketball team plays, and it's a very large building. They very much had a lot of room in there for that show, but it was memorable. Had Bryan Danielson against Claudio Castagnoli in this amazing semi-main, and Nigel McGuinness against Jerry Lynn in the main event. But the opener was a 6-man tag, and it was the Briscoes teaming up with Kenny Omega, if you can believe that. So there goes Orange Cassidy. Still waiting at Dax Harwood in there from FTR. I've really enjoyed AEW Collision on Saturday nights. That's a new show. Kevin Kelly, I mean, I respect Kevin tremendously. I mean, he can make almost anything seem tolerable. He was able to make those 2020 pandemic shows where he was calling them remotely, and it was the empty Korakuen Hall with like heat spots with Bullet Club, House of Torture, just the set that really was off-putting to me with New Japan. And they doubled down on it during the pandemic where there weren't any fans to make any noise. It made absolutely no sense. But Kevin's like your buddy. He's like, no, it's not so bad. Help talk you through the tough parts. I mean, it shouldn't have to come to that, but he's that good at it. But Collision, it's a focus show. I mean, people talk about CM Punk, but that's Jay White's show. That is Jay White's show right there. But, I mean, obviously Punk's the face of it, the guy they're going to promote. Ricky Starks has benefited big time because they can have these multi-segment stories being told in the course of the show, and you're not just in that Super Bowl commercial type of frenzy where you got all this talent squeezed into a small amount of time, and people have like 30 seconds to make an impression, just like those Super Bowl commercials. All right, Only Figs with a follow. Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. This is AEW Fight Forever. New wrestling video game. I've got it for the PC, the Steam version of it. I've seen some stuff with modding that people are doing. That's a bit beyond, well, actually well beyond my technical ability to figure some of that out. So you got Dustin Rhodes in there with Christian Cage, Dax Harwood battling with Jungle Boy. This is the Casino Battle Royale match in AEW Fight Forever. I love this mode for live streaming. I mean, we're well into the match, and I've had to even do anything yet. I just get to talk and enjoy some. And you get these unique things that you normally don't see in AEW. Like you wouldn't normally see, like, you know, with Dax and Jungle Boy, or Christian and Dustin Rhodes. So it's, especially when you have the women to get mixed in as well, because it's definitely something you don't normally see in AEW. But in a video game, there's Abaddon. Talk about some people you don't normally see in AEW. But Abaddon being very much a unique character makes her a great fit for the video game. And you see why she would be put in there, even though she's not one of the quote-unquote top stars. Abaddon's a bit of a one-of-a-kind, although she's kind of freaking out there at the moment. She's trying to cast a spell. She got some voodoo. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that, Rick, as far as Ian Riccaboni filling in for Kevin Kelly on Collision. Ian is great as well, so that'll be fine. And it makes sense, because I know Kevin's still, I mean, I don't know this from Kevin. He hasn't told me. Kevin doesn't talk to me about his business dealings or whatever, but but I know that if I had heard that he was going to be working those, he already agreed to for New Japan, so it doesn't surprise me. I hadn't heard it was Ian, but he's the best choice by far. You got Abaddon clotheslining Dustin Rhodes, Dax Harwood from FTR, and then Christian Cage just kind of lurking in there. But with Collision, the storytelling, it's like it focuses more like it feels like the territory days. Like this is the, you got your core talent, and almost everybody's under 40 that's being spotlighted. Like Scorpio Sky, I think they're bringing him in just kind of like, okay, he was a champion before. They're building up to have a match, I think, with Luchasaurus after Luchasaurus presumably beats Shawn Spears for the TNT Championship. Now, so Christian, of course, is the mouthpiece with that, managing Luchasaurus, but Still, it's Luchasaurus, who's, I think, 38 years old, and not Christian, who's, what, 48, 49, whatever it is. So you got Punk, who's over 40, and you got Samoa Joe as well, but I think he's more like, because of the tournament, the Owen tournament that we have the finals up on Saturday. Saturday will be interesting with Battle of the Belts, because that's a 3-hour live Saturday show, so it's a bit more. I think that's where you're going to see FTR against Jay White and Juice Robinson, 2 out of 3 falls. I think they'll probably go 40 minutes plus, which is a long time, but they can pull it off. But Jay White on this show, on Collision, has the time, and he's getting the space where he feels like the top star that he should feel like. I think he showed up, they didn't know, it was very much an unexpected thing when Jay White showed up in the AEW, in that there were a lot of whispers that he was going to be going to WWE, and then it didn't happen. I think because Vince McMahon came back. And there goes Abaddon. Eddie Kingston enters the match. So I'm still waiting for Lance Archer. I mean, not going to complain about sitting back and letting other people beat each other up before I have to get in there. So you got Dustin Rhodes, Eddie Kingston, Dax Harwood, and Christian Cage. Those are the 4 in there right now. It's interesting with the computer as far as Fire Pro Wrestling World remains by far the gold standard when it comes to a match simulation. But for this kind of match, Fire Pro is terrible for battle royals because it's not clear when, there's a different animation for over the top rope than throwing somebody out of the ring, and it's very difficult to tell, and it makes for an unsatisfactory viewing experience, I found. So almost I've got a lot of Fire Pro Wrestling World stuff on YouTube, but you'll notice with those matches, I almost always make it where it's Aztec Warfare style, where it's pinfall submission only, and not over the top rope, because the over the top rope stuff just, you can't tell for sure when it is or isn't somebody getting thrown out. So this is the opposite of that as far as the way the match is, because it's only over the top. But it's a good thing because, again, I complained before about the button mashing you have to do for the pinfall kickouts and just how much I dislike it. I'm not saying to do it like WWE video games where you try and time a button hit. I mean, you're reinventing the wheel and doing it worse. Fire Pro Wrestling World, you just hold down on a button. And it makes so much more sense than just tearing up your controller in your hands, just trying to blindly mash a button. But that's the way they made it. There goes Dustin Rhodes. Got some talent in there. Christian Cage, Eddie Kingston, Dax Harwood, and then Bryan Danielson. I'm a big fan of Eddie Kingston. Talked about that before. He's somebody that the crowd, I've found, from seeing him in person, but also just reading about it as well and hearing from other people, he's somebody that, as much as you may have differences with your backgrounds or what you do and don't like, whatever it is that you have in common, commonalities, Eddie Kingston has an amazing way of having people where it feels like he connects with them. It's kind of hard to explain. But the last time I saw AEW here in Nashville when they ran Municipal Auditorium early last year, Eddie wasn't even on the show, I don't think, as far as what he was billed for, but he did a run-in or something, and the crowd popped for him. You could feel this energy from the crowd with Eddie Kingston. I was like, wow. When it's palpable like that, wow, that's really cool. But I'm really looking forward to the next AEW show here in Nashville, as they're going to finally get to run Bridgestone Arena, the big arena down in Nashville. I mean, Municipal Auditorium has its history. There goes Danielson. He didn't last long. So Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks enters the match. I'm still waiting. The Locomotion Northern Lights suplex train by Matt Jackson there on Christian Cage. That back fist from Eddie Kingston. It feels like very much when you hit it correctly in the game, playing as Kingston, it feels very rewarding. One thing that's great about this game are the strikes feel like there's that oomph to them. Again, it feels like a modded version of Fire Pro where I put in the better sound effects, and it feels more like it. Like, it makes it feel more realistic. There's the extra punch to it. Literally, the feel is, it's really something. And this game does that, but even better. They get the mannerisms down very well. The wrestlers, Eddie missing on the back fist. Now, some of the faces, I don't understand. It's like they intentionally made them look slightly distorted. Oh, look at Eddie Kingston going to eliminate Christian Cage. Only get super kicked in the back of the head by Matt Jackson. Uh-oh, Dax Harwood doing the GTS taunt to Matt Jackson. Unavoidable conflict. Won't go away. See the head damage there. I love the little pop-up like that for the individual wrestlers to show you when a part of the body is being targeted and how much damage it's taken. And some people will play this game and not have the indicators, like those circles. And that's a matter of personal preference. And there goes Christian. Christian Cage lasted a long time in that match. Finally. It's like we're in the C boarding group on the Southwest Airlines. Got like, oh, C-45. We'll find a middle row seat for you there in the back. Hey, okay, this is, I probably should have tested this out before I started the match as far as what I tried with the targeting. We'll try not, oh, I guess I'm stuck with the manual targeting. Okay. Oh. I can't even move him though. Okay, this is really weird. All this time to get in there and now I can't move? What kind of rib is this? What's going on here? Like, it's supposed to see like P1 for player one. I don't even get that. It's like a nobody. Okay, participants. Like, it doesn't even have like a 1P or 2P. Like, it says calm for Matt Jackson, for Eddie Kingston, and Dax Harwood. But then for Lance Archer, me, I'm trying to play as him as player one, and nothing. Well, that's a... Just hang out with me and we'll talk about pro wrestling and watch the computer sim it, I guess, for this match. Because I'm at a loss. I've never experienced this before in one of these casino battle royales. So if it's just like the... Like, will he just lay there? Somebody have to pick him up? I mean, it's... He's really selling that one. This is AEW Fight Forever here on NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Trying to play as Lance Archer, and for whatever reason, the game just decided it's not going to let me do that. The controller's plugged in. I reconnected it. I was blaming manual targeting, and maybe that is the blame, maybe not, but manual targeting shouldn't block me from being able to hit punch and kick and stuff. Oh, it is a glitch. It must be, yeah, it is. I presume it feels like it is. Seems like a glitch, but now I want to see if there's something. Now what happened? I got to find out what happens here. We've gone this far in the match. It'd be a shame to just end it. At least see who wins. I mean, it's a video game. Doesn't really matter. No, but it's interesting to see. Dax barely hanging on there. Get back into the ring, dude. Don't go for the grab. But I do like when a wrestler is dazed, it feels like they are dazed in the game. Then what's frustrating when, like, you have it going against you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this? Whoa. Got a production blunder here. Is this like how the letters yes and no showed up on AEW television on an overlay a couple of times? People thought it was like some stupid Bray Wyatt type thing. Yeah, it's I mean, he's really selling it. But here's the thing. Somebody's got to pick him up and throw him over the top rope, even though I'm not actually controlling him for whatever reason. Okay, let's see. Matt Jackson. No. Because that's the thing. I guess Lance Archer's going to stand there and dare you to make fun of his back tattoos. Look at the body slam, and out of nowhere, Matt Jackson. And that was the actual voice clip there shouting super kick party. Although if you got Eddie Kingston behind you, you would best turn around. That's what I was saying. You got Dax Harwood doing CM Punk taunts, literally taunting Matt Hardy. You got me trying to play as Lance Archer, but it's not, so he's just standing there dazed. Well, it lasted longer than Dax did, and I'm just standing there. Hey, Mr. Brody Lee's the Joker. So I knew we were close to the end. It had been a while, and it doesn't show you which number entrant they are, which I think is the game would benefit if it did that, but it doesn't. Well, if anybody's going to throw, well, Eddie probably could too, but if anybody's going to throw Archer over the top rope, Mr. Brody Lee's capable. Sit out powerbomb on Archer by Mr. Brody Lee. Wow, you could feel like the clank of that, the thud of it, really, the punch there by Eddie Kingston on Matt Jackson. See the head damage there. I love those little details like that in this game are great. And they harken to games of another era. Oh, now you're going to ask me. Oh, now we're going to go into spectator mode as opposed to what the last 40 minutes has been. But again, it's not a negative though, because it is amusing to see the computer do some slightly zany things sometimes, and just seeing matchups you wouldn't normally have, combinations in AEW. So it's down to the last three here: Mr. Brody Lee, Eddie Kingston, and Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks. The strength there by Eddie Kingston. Those Akiyama style. Very physical suplexes. Missed on the back fist against Mr. Brody Lee. Matt Jackson, he was going to go for that top rope move. But then Eddie moved far enough away, thought better of it. So you think of the three, Brody Lee's got the best chance because he was the last one in. Matt Jackson's fired up. Look at the spear there by Matt Jackson on Mr. Brody Lee. Oh, I love those little sequences that happen just by chance in the game. We've got Matt Jackson nearly throwing out Brody Lee, only to have Eddie Kingston come from behind and flip one of his legs out from under him. In a related note, wrestlers, by and large, do not like battle royals. AEW is a little bit different, but like the old time days, I mean, that was, because it's dangerous. You got guys all over the place. There's not room. Guys get in the way. Accidents happen because people collide. They don't see each other. And to that end, it's a lot better, even though it would be nice to have 6 or 8 wrestlers in the ring at once. It does help as far as things not getting too cluttered with it this way. So, although you'd think at some point there would be a desire to have, because they've got trios championships now in AEW. But with some things, you've got to work with the technology. This game had to be a game that would work on the Nintendo Switch. And yet, when you have I've got this turned up like to the max as far as the video quality and because I've got a very strong computer for this. I had to have one for broadcasting reasons. If I want to do a remote broadcast, I tell people I better be able to do it. So this machine is set up for that. So you got Matt Jackson, Mr. Brody Lee, and Eddie Kingston. It's time for the Northern Lights suplex locomotion again for Matt Jackson. So Brody just barely hanging on. And a very physical suplex there by Eddie Kingston. Had his back turned to Brody Lee. See, Eddie's starting to sell though, but or is he clapping? Maybe some of both. Although Eddie's got a special right now. About to run out on him though. Matt Jackson eliminates Mr. Brody Lee. We're down to 2. Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks against Eddie Kingston. Kingston's rattled. And you get that difference as far as the momentum. And there goes Eddie Kingston. Matt Jackson gets the win. It is funny how they have little snippets from the announcers. The Jim Ross ones are quite amusing because he sounds rather bored with them. All right. So in the event that it had something to, it was probably just some sort of a glitch, but all right. Let's see. Now, see, I've tried to set this where it's like this higher resolution. It likes to just dial me back down. So there's that. Although I don't know. As I was saying there with the music, you have to have it off to be sure as far as any sort of those copyright dings. I would much rather have the music in game, but not at the sake of being able to actually stream it and not get dinged for it. See how it keeps going back to that? Well, I'm not gonna get too hung up on that. Well, I was saying I was going to use Mr. Brody Lee, so I may go ahead and do that. Although we just saw him there at the end of that last match, so it is a bit of repetitive, but let's see how long I can go with Mr. Brody Lee here. I haven't done much with the arena creation because much like Create a Wrestler, the Create an Arena custom arena mode and AEW Fight Forever leaves a lot to be desired. But you make the best of it. Sometimes you can get creative, but it's just the options are like the Zebra Palace. That got quite the reaction online from some people. Purple robes. You can't even have like purple anything else though, except for like you see where I could put the purple and I did. Like you can't even have like purple, turnbuckles or whatever, which is not the end of the world. But for a game to let you customize, it's not like we're trying to. It's not something elaborate that's needed. So I don't know why it's like that. And I know that there are people in this company that know video games very well. They should know better, but easy for me to say. I was able to do this kind of, I don't know why I titled it Stars. I didn't quite know what to call it. Galaxy mode. So let's hope this time it actually does let me,
The following contest is a casino battle royale.
Everybody wants to win the Casino Royale.
Thank you, board Jim Ross. Ace.
Making his way to the ring, Jungle Boy. And his opponent is one half of the Young Bucks, Nick Jackson.
Make it rain. All right, Riho's in the match. So this is AEW Fight Forever Casino Battle Royale match. Timed entry match similar to the Royal Rumble. You'll never have more than 4 wrestlers in the ring at once. So you got Jungle Boy and Matt Jackson, got Jeff Hardy and Riho. Again, because the men versus women stuff doesn't really work in real life as far as the AEW product goes, or what I want to see in AEW certainly. But in video game form, it doesn't bother me, which is, I've mentioned this before because it's just, I can't explain why. But when it comes to the suspension of disbelief, different mediums have different demands. That chop from Matt Jackson on Jungle Boy. No six-man tag. That is an unfortunate part of it. Kenny Omega enters the match. All right, for the next couple of minutes, I will talk about the surprises at the end of AEW Dynamite tonight. So if you don't want to hear that, I'll talk about it here for just a little bit. But it was a surprise. It was a real surprise. I hadn't heard any rumblings about this, but bringing in Pac as the 5th member of the BCC, and then going to have Kota Ibushi in AEW next week in Boston. That should be a tremendous, the blood and guts match. Jericho's not in the match, so maybe they'll stay in the cage this year. They've had that match twice, and both times they've gotten out of the cage. I mean, the matches have been great, but it's just, I just hope nobody gets hurt like what happened to Santana last year. Got Jeff Hardy, Riho, Matt Jackson, and Kenny Omega. Those are the 4 in there right now. The way it works in AEW Fight Forever with a Casino Battle Royale match, it's a random draw, timed entry Battle Royal. More than 4 people, or maximum 4 people in there at once. It's only 4, unfortunately. And I talked about this last week, but with WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, I love that game. I still play that game to this day. I own a PlayStation 2 still, in part because of that game. But the prior year's game I thought was better as far as the Royal Rumble match went with Shut Your Mouth. I thought it was a better Rumble mode. Almost everything else in Here Comes the Pain was better, though. So that, to me, I was like, okay, well, you know, there have been some modern WWE games that have had some pretty good Rumble modes. But to me, this is by far the most fun for even better than Fire Pro Wrestling World. And that's a high bar, but that's just that particular element. As you know, those kind of matches aren't nearly as big in Japan. It's a Japanese company that developed that series, and so you could see why the over-the-top rope elimination versus just thrown out of the ring and that not having a clear, like, easy-to-tell difference. It's just more, I think, a manifestation of what people in different places may have expectations of in a wrestling game or a wrestling product in general. Was Brawl Stars different than the All Stars game? Because I think I still own All Stars, the one that had like it was the more arcade style one. Yeah, All Stars, yeah. I mean, for all I knew, they had some other game. WWE licensed a lot of stuff, and licensing's the way to make money. So right now you've got Kenny Omega, Riho battling, and then Nick Jackson and Tay Mello. And I actually had like the downloadable content because it was funny because it actually said Ted DiBiase Jr. And if you know WWE, I mean, because of Vince McMahon, nobody in that company gets to be junior. But in the game, that was the one time where it was like, normally the very heavy-handed WWE would never let something like that through, but it was like DLC content in this, you know, kind of non-traditional style WWE game. And that one got through, but that was on a PlayStation 3 that an ex-girlfriend of mine at least owned back then. So I think that DLC was lost with it, and it wasn't quite the same thing as far as account ownership went back in that era. Kenny Omega throws out Riho. So Nick Jackson's already in there. Here comes his brother Matt Jackson. Kenny Omega and Tay Mello, the 4 in there right now. Every man or woman for himself or herself in this match. Young Bucks collide. Hey, Mello just looks on as that Northern Lights suplex train goes rolling by Nick against Matt. Yeah, but the overall point, though, you were saying only figs with the craziness of the game. And that, where it's almost like kind of the bending of physics a little bit. Uh-oh. There goes Nick Jackson. His brother Matt eliminated him. Here comes Beretta. He'll join Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Tay Mello. That V-trigger knee strike from Kenny Omega. Dropping Matt Jackson. Omega and Beretta had a great match in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Here's the one-winged angel coming up from Kenny Omega against Trent Beretta. Normally that's lights out. That's it in the match. But there's no pinfalls or submissions in a casino battle royale. You got to go over the top rope to the floor. That's the way it works. Tay's got head damage, as it showed there. I love those little details. And there's head damage for Trent. Omega spamming the one-winged angel. When your head damage and it's like that bright red, and that's you get an exclamation point shows up. It says danger above your health meter. It's not a good sign there for Trent Beretta. Jade Cargill enters the match. Kenny Omega. Matt Jackson going to town with that Northern Lights suplex train as Tay Mello uses a side Russian leg sweep on Jade. Tay's fired up. Oh, Matt Jackson was going for a super kick. Tay was actually saved by Jade running into attack. Managed to stymie that special attack there for Matt Jackson. Sometimes when there's a wrestler down in a match like this, there'll be one on either side that are trying to get to the other person. Like the downed wrestlers keeping them apart just by laying there. Matt Jackson tuning up the band. With that special, want to get drop kicked by Kenny Omega. You get a lot of like A to B to C sequences in this game with the Casino Battle Royale match. It's really entertaining at times. A lot of the unexpected that I think a lot of it's just, it's not even just the novelty. There goes Tay Mello eliminated by Kenny Omega. Hear the crisp strike there on that super kick. Again, the audio for the strikes in this game, the kicks and the punches, very, very good. Even the little things, like there was on the last broadcast I had, where it was like somebody came off the top rope, it connected to the move, and they hit the mat. And you made the noise of that wrestler hitting the mat, which is realistic. If you're landing, you're not going to just land like it's on a pillow just because you happen to hit somebody on the way down. Kenny Omega gets super kicked out of the ring and out of the match by Matt Jackson. Malachi Black takes a seat and then sprints down to ringside. Eddie Kingston and Jade Cargill. Stiff shot there by Kingston. Matt Jackson. Double noggin knocker for Eddie Kingston and Malachi Black. Jade barely hanging on. Malachi was trying to knock her out of the ring, running against the ropes. Speaking out of the ring. Omega's out. Jade again just barely hanging on. Here comes Luchasaurus. But again, with the game, at least as it is now, 4 wrestlers maximum, what you'll have in a match. Now you can have, I mean, in a tag team match, you will have 5 people in the ring with the referee. In this match, there's 9 pinfalls, and I talked about it before, how the button mashing is very off-putting to me in this game. It's just so unnecessary for it to be like that. So with this match not having that annoyance with the pinfall kick-out stuff, it makes it that much more fun for me. Plus, it's so great with how you throw people out, that using the right trigger to, when somebody's, you know, if you're able to do it, try and knock them out of the ring. But it feels very satisfying. The strikes feel satisfying when they hit. It's not just the sound, but it's like, okay, I timed this right, and it feels right. Matt Jackson barely hanging on, and out. Jade Cargill says, no problem. Luchasaurus has other ideas. Mox. Here comes John Moxley. I guess they wouldn't let him come in through the crowd for this one. So I'm going to be wrestling as Mr. Brody Lee, but it's luck of the draw. Luchasaurus out. Eliminated by Jade Cargill. Death Rider on Jade by Mox. It's Malachi Black launches with punches. Bryan Danielson to the match. Oh, look at that catch. And this sit-out powerbomb by Malachi Black on John Moxley. There's a reason Mox doesn't go off the top rope very much. I love those kind of transitions in this game. It feels very natural. That's where I feel the Here Comes the Pain influence, that video game that I love, the PlayStation 2 game from WWE from 20 years ago. Where it's like, again, it's just enough of a bend to the physics or whatever they have to do to make it the magic of the game, whatever it is that, where it feels like, oh wow, that's a great reversal. And that's a level of depth you don't normally get in this with a console video game. So Moxley, Death Rider on Malachi Black. Danielson off the top rope, trying to hit Jade, but nobody home. Jade, 2-on-1 against the Blackpool Combat Club. Cattle mutilation. Cattle mutilation by Bryan Danielson on Jade. Never thought I'd see that. Moxley unloads on Malachi Black. Malachi Black just saved Moxley there. I think Danielson was lined up that, like, there's 2 kicks and that third really strong kick. I think Moxley's about to flip over the top rope. Jade, that body damage at red. Malachi may throw her out here. There she goes. Jade Cargill eliminated by Malachi Black. Here comes Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Malachi Black and John Moxley face off. Well, Britt Baker goes after Bryan Danielson. Now Danielson and Moxley. Not much teaming up, though, at the moment. Those elbow strikes there from Danielson on Mox. Brainbuster on Britt Baker by Malachi Black. Come on, just jump over him, guys. I love like the crowd reaction. You get a really hard hit like that. And oh. Britt Baker barely hanging on. Malachi Black has eliminated Britt Baker. Cattle mutilation on Moxley. Here I come with Mr. Brody Lee. All right, well, I can actually wrestle this time in the match. I won't just be standing there. That was really weird how that happened before. Here goes Moxley. He's going to have to throw out Malachi. Nope, not yet. I'm just going to back up there for a second. There goes Sammy Guevara. Sammy's got a signature. I have to be careful here. Danielson's out. Another elimination there for Malachi. You sit down in front of me, you get drop kicked, buddy. Those are the rules. Ricky Starks into the match. Absolute Ricky Starks. Somebody who I think is really benefiting from being on AEW Collision. He feels more like a star than ever before. They've got time to actually develop him. It's more than just 45 seconds on screen here and there. And his charisma really shows through. Sometimes he doesn't have to do the talking. He's got that presence to him. With that big match coming up with CM Punk, the finals of the Owen Hart tournament on Collision on Saturday, so that's going to be a fun one. It's one of those where I think Punk's going to win, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I think Punk should win at this point just because there's money to be made if they have him go against MJF at some point. Considering that Punk had to vacate the world title due to injury. But, I mean, you don't have to do it that way to tell the story. It's pro wrestling. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Despite, certain companies will tell you that their way is the only way, but that's simply not true. I got my signature here, so let's see if I can... Let's try some strikes, yeah. Cool. Well, it's not trying to run. Also easier to set up those back grapples in this game versus like a one-on-one match where you gotta kind of like flip them around. With this one, it's easier to hit that like the rear grapple and manage to reverse that. But you see that like that flash like that, the way it's set up here. And some people don't like that, I think, as far as their matches go, preferring to have it where it's just you don't see those indicators. But I actually prefer it that way, at least for now. Oh, that slingshot throat first into that bottom rope, which is really a steel cable. Oh, drop kick off the top by Sammy Guevara. I thought I was far enough away there with Mr. Brody Lee. I was not. Ricky Starks and Sammy Guevara teaming up to suplex Brody. The strength there of Brody. Got my, okay, let's see. Just need to, I got my signature. I just got to pick somebody up, or Malachi's going to have a seat. All right. Start doing some sit-out power bombs. Let's see if I can throw out Ricky. That right trigger button. That didn't always work. I mean, if it were too easy, it wouldn't be any fun. Sammy Guevara eliminated. Malachi's thrown somebody else out. Another elimination for Malachi. Oh, he drops me. Brian Cage enters the match. And Anna Jay. Oh, so about to like right out immediately. There we go, yeah. For once, pick up Malachi from that seated position. Look at the strength there by Brody. Had to really yoke up Malachi. It's a great move, though, to do that. Punish him for using that sit down in the middle of a match gimmick. But you really had to have that core strength to pick somebody up like that. Especially somebody with a... You know, Malachi's not... I mean, he's not the biggest wrestler in there, but he's not a small guy. Speaking of not a small guy, Brian Cage. Brainbuster by Malachi on Anna Jay, and then Cage just dropping me there with Mr. Brody Lee. Saraya's not in the game. I imagine she'll be in his downloadable content at some point. But no, not yet. I mean, it makes too much sense to have her in there to not. Because right now, there are limits on what Saraya can do in ring. I mean, that thing about her retiring for a while, that wasn't like some sort of storyline thing. And there are certain limits of what she's going to be able to do at this point in her career. But she's a star. And when you've got star power, we'd be well served to put them in the video game. And so I'm sure they're going to have all sorts of possibilities with that. Let's see, I just run the ropes here. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, come on. Oh, don't do that. Oh, that annoys me. Really, that's why I was trying to mess with the targeting. Because there was no way Anna Jay should have gotten out of that. And then Lance Archer, who I played in the first match as, or I tried to. I guess I gotta Ran into a bug or something went wrong with it. Oh, come on. Oh, that's so annoying. That's twice now. See, that's the opposite of like where it's really like intuitive and you're catching somebody off the top rope and it's a great move. When he can't even target the right person. And again, I tried turning on manual targeting and it did not go well. So Lance Archer, Uranage just dropping Malachi. I'll let Anna Jay work on Lance Archer. I'll battle with Malachi. He's been in there for a long time now. Man, Malachi was beating me on every guess. I was trying to block a punch. You go for a grapple. Vice versa. You do the same. He's also got a signature right now. Oh, he's got a special. Okay, let's go work a headlock over here with Anna Jay. How about that? Uh-oh. Oh, no. No. Oh, I'm out. Just like that. Made it to the final four. Lance Archer gets speared out of the ring. Malachi Black, what a match he's had. And it's down to Malachi and Anna Jay, the final two. Malachi's got a special. Anna Jay. Can she pull off the upset? Malachi's setting his sights. Anna Jay with a headbutt from Malachi Black. They're the final two here in the match. And Anna, like, she can't decide if she's going to go top rope. She's going to try and grapple with a larger Malachi. She picked the ladder and probably with the reversal. If she can just throw him out. Malachi's been in there for a while. Anna could win this match. Although she might want to slow down a little bit. See? Malachi making a point there. She's doing like spins and kicks to nobody was there. Malachi just sits down. Malachi's got the special. Anna Jay, look out, Anna. Oh, I thought she was going to duck that spin kick. But, and you can feel that strike. Oh, Malachi couldn't knock her off with the run off the rope. Sometimes that'll work. Will that do it? No, but she's still in the apron. Anna Jay's still in it, but that danger there is foreboding the special from Malachi. Anna Jay walked right into that punch. Kick connects. Malachi sends Anna Jay all the way over to the left side of the ring. There goes Anna Jay, and what a performance by Malachi Black. I like the way he slices Tommy in.
And we got to call it. We got to see it.
Let's look at the Tommy end. Twitch name. Half star. Dud. That always amuses me in the Wrestling Observer newsletter when it's a 0-star match from Dave Meltzer. It doesn't say 0 stars. It's all caps. I've never known why it's like that, but it's all caps. Dud. D-U-D. Oh, well. So let's try this again, shall we? Actually, I'm going to take just a quick break. Back in like just 2 minutes. Like a really, really fast break here. I'll be back with more. If there are any matches y'all want to see, let me know. And I'd be glad to set that up. But in the interim, just a quick break. Back in a moment. This is NashvilleLou Live. Playing AEW Fight Forever. Stay tuned. All right, back from that quick break. This is AEW Fight Forever. Brand new video game from All Elite Wrestling. Plan on doing another Casino Battle Royale match, but let's see. I'll try wrestling as CM Punk. No, I don't want to go back to the previous screen. Let's try and go back to this screen. I first saw CM Punk wrestle in person more than 20 years ago. The MLW show I went to in Orlando, Florida in May 2003. I saw CM Punk wrestle Raven on that show. And the way it works is it's pretty smart to give you some daily challenges, and it's usually they'll pick a few wrestlers. You just win a singles match. You can get some of the in-game currency. Like, how do you not have alternate gear for CM Punk? I mean, you go to all the trouble to have him in there, and eventually, I've seen some of the mod work that people have done. But for now, this is what you get. It's Punk. We're lucky to have him in the game that they managed to keep him in the company. Omega's pretty good. I might not win this match. And I've got it on regular mode. I tried playing on hard mode, but again, the button mashing thing's enough as is, but let's see. So you have to click through a second page just to see if somebody has different gear that you can use. I mean, this feels to me, it really does feel to me like Ukes. This is something they had from their old series 20 years ago. Not everything with nostalgia needs to be in this game, but they have a lot of the great stuff for sure. And at least you've got it in there for some choices for Omega. But you can't even go through and like change the chromas or the colors with the chroma, whatever, to have some alternate looks. So like if you want to have MGF in blue or in yellow, nope, you gotta go with that red gear he's got a game, and that's all you can use for him at this point. Just this company should know better, and I don't know why it's like that, other than they probably have their reasons for wanting things to be difficult to make with Create a Wrestler early on, because they're wanting to sell you DLC. That's just the way it seems. I mean, but look, I love playing the game. I'm not here to gripe about stuff that isn't up to snuff. I keep fighting them on it. They can say, nope, you're going back to that smaller resolution, buddy. Of course, I don't need to worry about targeting in a one-on-one match, so. All right. We're going to run the Zebra Palace if we're going to have CM Punk against Kenny Omega. Let's do it.
This bout is set for one fall.
Man, this should be one hell of a singles match.
Making his way to the ring.
And again, I have the in-game music, including the theme music, turned off due to copyright concerns. So you've got two different types of strikes. You've got, basically it's punch and kick, but that's not exactly how it is. You've got a lock-up button, and you've got a button to throw or run off the ropes, like what I'm doing here. Omega is unfazed. The little red flare there, when you've got that set up in your game to have that, it shows you when there's a reversal. And again, some people prefer not having that in-game, but it helps me to play it, certainly, and in some ways I actually like it because it shows me with the CPU, with a computer, who it's actually targeting in some of those matches where sometimes, like if it's bad AI, that would be telling if the targeting was way off. Oh, here we go. When you've got an opponent that's up against a rope like that, you can do some different types of offense that you normally can't do, like dropping Omega belly first onto that top rope, which is really a steel cable. There we go. Look at those kicks going there with Punk. give Omega a trip to the ropes and a knee lift. And again, though sometimes when you're close as far as timing it with the strikes, this game is very good about slightly adjusting when somebody's running off the ropes to get there. They normally want the move to connect for you if you're close with it. And they make it where it's not over the top either, as far as like where it takes you out of the immersion of being in a match, if that makes any sense. In other words, it feels natural in the course of a match, and it's impressive they're able to pull it off because it's a very difficult line to try and straddle there. So I've got my signature here, which is, I think, setting up the Anaconda Vice. Wasn't expecting a submission there from Omega anyway. So even if you miss with the first two kicks like that, go for that third if you're in striking distance. And again, Omega dropped injury buff. Omega dropped chest first. It's time to that top left side corner there with those New Japan Pro Wrestling style corner pads. Oh, I was trying to run to get away, and Omega able to reverse it into a Rana. Going for the Tenzan chops. Rana off the top rope by CM Punk on Kenny Omega. I love that, like that corner offense, like there. And even just playing it, it feels natural in the course of the match to have it kind of play out like that. We get another rope break here. Yeah. They're teasing the Anaconda Vice. There's a back fist from CM Punk. MMA Punk strikes again. A Saito style suplex by CM Punk on Kenny Omega. Gotta be kind of quick about it. I gotta pick up. Oh, come on. Pick him up. Oh, he's gonna do this like, there we go. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. GTS. Now we're connected.
1, 2, 3.
That'll do it. I love how you get to be a jerk after the match, too, if you
This match, CM Punk.
doing stuff like this.
I was here for this amazing matchup.
Unenthusiastic Jim Ross sees the GTS hit on Omega. Only 3.5 stars there. So again, for the purposes of live streaming, I really think those Casino Battle Royale matches are superior from an entertainment standpoint. Although if somebody comes in wanting to see a specific matchup or type of match or whatever, I'll be glad to oblige. I have to somewhat pace myself as far as my broadcasting goes. I've got 2 broadcasts set for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern start time right here on NashvilleLou Live on Twitch. I'll have on a 90-second delay for this. First part would be Blockchain Brawlers, Blue Mint hosting a tournament. So I'll have that for you here. And then 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 2000 UTC, Warsaken Blitz. A very fun strategy card game that I have had a lot of fun developing into a show. A lot of player versus player elements. People that have literally will wait for hours in queues to play against me. And if they beat me, they get a prize off the prize wheel. The format's kind of just come together. It's great because all my time in television and radio, you don't get the type of immediate feedback in those industries that you do with live streaming, where you're hearing from your audience much faster and more than just an anecdotal here or there. You're getting it right away. So I think there's a lot of positives as far as that goes. Powerhouse Hobbs. I think Hobbs is going to benefit greatly from being on AEW Collision. I think he already has to a degree. Having him with QT Marshall has not been beneficial. I don't know why they do that. But I get the feeling they're about to course correct if they haven't already, if that's considered a split off. But it's like he was TNT champion, but it was like to set up QT. Some things like that, I'm just like, man. Like, look, QT Marshall is a much better talent than they let him be. And he plays the goof role. They do that with a lot of their producers, if you haven't noticed. Which is better than like pushing them to the moon, well past their prime or whatever. Anyway. Hobbs doesn't need anybody with him. He just get there and snarl. You don't have to get caught up with... I'd hope by now American wrestling fans could really get it that you don't have to just be good guy or bad guy. That famous Vince McMahon thing from 1997. Anyway, let's get to it.
The following contest is a casino battle royale.
It's time now for a Casino Royale match with 21 top stars ready to go.
Queen of Clubs. Thank you, Tony Schiavone, for the setup.
Making his way to the ring, they call him the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. And his opponent, Yuka Sakazaki.
Fast zoom.
Absolute Ricky Starks. And he is one half of FTR, Cash Wheeler.
Poor Cash getting listed with that 0-4 singles record. So again, it really is random as far as the draw goes for this match. So we've got Yuka Sakazaki in there with Sammy Guevara and then Ricky Starks and Cash Wheeler. And it's Wheeler and Sakazaki teaming up against Ricky Starks. While Sammy Guevara does a dance there in the corner. You can hear the crowd chants. Absolute Ricky Starks. Cash Wheeler barely hanging on and now out to the zebra flooring below. So Ruby Soho. Now, did we not get the little pop-up screen there? Normally it has the little inset thing showing the entrant with the up-close shot like they used to do in the early Royal Rumbles, which I absolutely loved. Like they have at WrestleFest. And that arcade classic. Yuka Sakazaki fired up, but Ruby Soho unimpressed. German suplex by Ricky Starks on Sammy Guevara. Ruby Soho, the Meteora on Sammy Guevara. Sakazaki. Yuka's had some fire here early. Meanwhile, Ruby Soho's got her special. You got to watch out for that. Can't really use it, though, against a 2-on-1. Sammy Guevara and Yuka Sakazaki working on Soho. And there goes Sammy Guevara. I told you, Yuka's fired up tonight. We're not getting the pop-up window. Normally it only does that if you're in one of these matches where you're not actually, if you're just you being strictly a spectator. Wardlow no selling everything. Rochambeau. No sell that, Wardlow. Nice drop kick by Ruby Soho. Now Ruby's feeling it. Oh, my goodness, Wardlow out of nowhere drops Ruby Soho and Ricky Starks. Wardlow has the size advantage over the other three competitors. Whoa! Stiff powerbomb by Wardlow on Ruby Soho. Fans were chanting one more time, but Ruby Soho's out. Yeah, we're getting ripped off here with the inset camera shot. It's one of those little details that I really like about this game. I mean, it's Britt Baker, we know that, but it's still. Little details that are great can make a huge difference from a fun factor standpoint. Like, Wardlow feels like Wardlow, and some of the larger, stronger wrestlers in this game, it reminds me a lot of Here Comes the Pain with that. As far as when they get that momentum going, it's like, uh-oh. It's like Lesnar, young Lesnar, and Here Comes the Pain, 'cause that game was from 20 years ago. So I'm going to be competing as Powerhouse Hobbs, but it's a random draw, timed entry battle royal, so 4 at a time. It's tops in there, and that's the game limitations. I hope they'll be able to add some sort of a 6-man mode. It's silly that they don't have that in some ways, but I mean, look, you have to have it where the game's going to function properly. German suplex on Yuka Sakazaki by Ricky Starks. Wardlow getting roughed up there by Britt Baker, who's got the glove on. Should be looking for lockjaw. It'll be another Rochambeau for Ricky Starks, and it will be. Yuka Sakazaki, springboard, nobody home. You don't want to voluntarily put yourself over the top rope at any point in a battle royal. That's bad. Double clothesline. Wardlow rocks the house at the Zebra Palace. Wardlow with super kicks for Britt Baker and Yuka Sakazaki. Oh! Ricky Starks was appalled, which lets him wide open for an attack there by Britt Baker. Can Britt throw out Wardlow? Nope, not yet. Wardlow's fired up. I think Starks and Sakazaki and Baker have to team up here on Wardlow. I think a 3-on-1 would be in order. Yuka has her special. And again, you see there like the big wind-up from Wardlow, and he just barely got a glancing shot on Sakazaki, and it felt like he only got a glancing shot with the way the sound and the thud wasn't as strong. And that little detail is like, that's the little type of detail this game gets very much right. A third Rochambeau. You're right that Wardlow's facing danger. Taking Ricky Starks' finisher multiple times. There goes Wardlow. So Adam Cole, baby, will join Ricky Starks, Yuka Sakazaki, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, here in this Casino Battle Royale match. This is AEW Fight Forever. NashvilleLou Live. Yuka Sakazaki out of the ring, eliminated by Adam Cole, and here comes Chris Statlander. Special there for Adam Cole with his real-life girlfriend. Uh-oh. They're going to settle their problems in the ring. The boom. Big knee strike. Britt's hanging in there. Meanwhile, it's Ricky Starks doing a dance, taunting Chris Statlander. Low kick there from Statlander. Drops both Britt Baker and Adam Cole. Ricky Starks does some posing. Well, it does help me with my challenges when I just... It's like when you look up on cagematch.net, like for wrestlers that aren't very good workers, and like they get like the one like match that has like high accolades. It's like a 30-man Royal Rumble kind of match where they were in there for 30 seconds. So Brett thrown out by Chris Statlander. Christian Cage enters the match. Ricky Starks fired up. They better look out for the wily veteran Christian Cage. Adam Cole gets speared by Christian. Adam Cole eliminated by Chris Statlander. Tornado DDT by Ricky Starks on Christian Cage. And it's Pentagon Jr. or Penta L0M or a number of other names. Penta works. For once, the obnoxiously shortened names in the wrestler identifier actually works with Penta. Just put Penta. It's like with Andrade. I'm synchronizing there on that double kick from Ricky Starks and Penta on Statlander. Then a Made in Japan, shades of Shingo Takagi for both Christian Cage, and then there's one for Ricky Starks. Penta L0 fired up. Again, like he's trying to start a program with Shingo. Start booking now for next year's Forbidden Door, and that would actually probably be a great match. Package pile driver on Statlander by Penta. Thrust kick from Penta knocks out Statlander. There comes Anna Jay. Again, you can tell where the little inset image that shows the next wrestler entering, how much value there is, because you don't have that in the match. It's not quite as satisfying. Ricky Starks finding time to pose, but paying the price there. Rough landing for Anna Jay. Back of her head landed on the back of that, or that bottom cable there. They're called ropes, but there's no easy way to take that kind of a landing. Anna Jay and Ricky Starks teaming up on Christian. Penta misses with a kick. Got a special for a short time longer. And there we go, we'll hit it here. Package pile driver on Anna Jay. Ricky Starks. Rochambeau. Here the fans chanting Ricky, Ricky. There goes Penta, eliminated by Anna Jay. Anna Jay go to the top rope to wisely jump down. Here comes Jade. You better jump off the top rope if Jade Cargill's heading to the ring. She'll knock you off lickety-split. Chop by Anna Jay on Ricky Starks. Christian goes after Jade. Starks again with a Rochambeau. He's been connecting with that. And look, you've earned the right to pose there for a moment, Ricky, hitting that many Rochambeaus. Buy yourself a little bit of time. But even the way, like right there, the way Starks, when he landed, it sounded like somebody landing on the canvas in a wrestling ring. There's a specific sound to it. It's like, it makes it feel more real, and that adds to the fun factor and the immersion and all that. I know the on-screen indicators might take away from the immersion for some people, but again, I like to see who they're trying to face and to understand how the computer AI works. Again, sometimes they have trouble locking up when there's somebody just laying down between them. Jade barely hanging on. Anna Jay eliminates Jade Cargill. Malachi Black enters the match. Anna Jay's got her special. Head damage for Christian. Malachi and Starks finally break it up. But Christian wobbly. And I think Christian was trying to chop Anna Jay, but ended up hitting Malachi and Ricky Starks. And at some point, I'll be entering the match as Powerhouse Hobbs, but it's only 4 in there at a time. And it's random draw. Christian barely hanging on. Christian Cage eliminated by Anna Jay. 3 eliminations for Anna Jay. Ray Phoenix. Penta was in there a short time ago, and Ricky Starks eliminated. So you got Malachi Black, Ray Phoenix, and a very dazed Anna Jay. Here comes Jungle Boy. We had Adam Cole and Britt Baker face off earlier. We're going to see Jungle Boy and Anna Jay. Poison Rana on Ray Phoenix by Jungle Boy. Ray Phoenix up against the ropes. And Ray Phoenix did not last very long in that match. Jungle Boy has eliminated Ray Phoenix. Malachi Black holds Jungle Boy up for some chops from Anna Jay. As Trent Beretta enters the match. Pile driver on Malachi by Trent Beretta. Jungle Boy rolling up Anna Jay. No pinfalls here, Jungle Boy. Trent Beretta takes down Malachi. Then a running strike for Jungle Boy. Some of the strikes will come at you faster than you expect in this game, which is a good balance because you have some very strong wrestlers, so the smaller and quicker guys to make it so it's a fair matchup. They're able to utilize their speed pretty well in this game, at least early on in a match. And that's another thing they do well as far as overtime in a match. You can tell when wrestlers start to get tired, they don't move quite as fast, but it feels gradual, not like it's just an abrupt thing. Jungle Boy thrown out. Malachi Black and Trent Beretta working on Anna Jay. Here I am, finally. I even get a little welcome to the match, Lou thing here. There's Powerhouse Hobbs. Uh-oh. Anna Jay. Give me a greeting. Oh, I thought it was set up like the spear. Like this move right here. There we go. I wonder if Malachi got in the way of it before. I'm not quite sure how that works. So I've used Powerhouse in a match before, but not in a casino battle royale. So Beretta's out. Malachi Black. Anna Jay going for the desperation pin on me there as Hobbs. And now it's Trent Beretta's teammate, Chuck Taylor, in the match. Pile driver on Powerhouse. Malachi Black eliminates Anna Jay. So Andrade into the match. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, don't throw me out, Chuck. Oh, man. That can happen sometimes in this match. I'm not even mad about it. I'm disappointed. It would have been fun to wreck some people for a while with Powerhouse Hobbs, but if you knew for a fact it would take a certain amount of time for somebody to get worn down every time, then that might add some monotony to it. It's a little bit of unpredictability, especially in a match like this where faster eliminations happen sometimes. Just part of it. So I'll probably stream for another 15 minutes. Wrap things up just before midnight Eastern. Because tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern is when it starts, so I've got to be up earlier to get checked in and get everything ready for the stream. Got another Blue Mint tournament, BLUMINT.com. That'll be with Blockchain Brawlers. They're really fun. It's a wrestling-themed game, but it's a strategy card game that just happens to have wrestling theming. And then my big stream of the week, my Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 2000 UTC with Warsake and Blitz. A really fun card strategy game that I've had tremendous response from people about as far as... Was that Matt Jackson thrown out there? Anyway, I've had the thrill, though, live streaming Warsake and Blitz. Some wonderful people in the Warsaking community. And these streams, I mean, it's sometimes 6-7 hours where I have to close the queue 3 hours early. And there are people that will wait that long to play me, and I'm greatly appreciative of it. So that's tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern for that. But for the early birds, 8 a.m. Eastern, 1200 UTC with the Blockchain Brawlers tournament on Blue Mint, and I'll broadcast my matches as long as I last in that. So it's down to the last two here with Malachi Black and Andrade. I mean, it's fitting when you think about it in AEW for Collision. This is a feud they've been building up for several weeks, and here we go. Getting here in video game form. Malachi Black eliminates Andrade and wins the match.
What a match we just saw.
Thank you, Excalibur. Half star, 600. I don't even remember that Yuka Sakazaki 7-star Casino Battle Royale, but it clearly happened. It's like a much higher score too. It's I can't explain that. Anyway, so probably another 15 minutes or so. So I'll go ahead and see if I can get the daily challenge matches knocked out. I'm not going to do 3 hard matches. I did 1 yesterday. It annoyed me enough. I'm like, okay, I don't need that $1,000 to AEW cash. I'll be all right without it. Most of the stuff's already unlocked for me anyway. I think. We're still going to add a bunch more too, but. Oh. Oh. There we go. Let's make it a lights out match. I'm going to use Penta. I guess he's officially Penta L0M. But like there's not, like there, in real life, Penta has a number of different alternate outfits, and I'm at a loss with some of these wrestlers that should have a lot of options for gear. It's not like you have to put a new wrestler in to put new gear. You just let's do some palette swaps. Let me give them the make it the black and yellow instead of the black and white or whatever. I mean, look, there are worse problems to have in life than griping about the gear that a wrestler has in a video game. But if I'm playing it and live streaming it, I want it to look good. I did 2 of the creator wrestlers I just made. I talk about Jenny Zebra for 30 seconds in a clip, and that happens to be the clip that takes off the one from last week's show with Riho. And I was talking about how I'm glad that it doesn't have creator wrestlers in that Casino Battle Royale match, since you can't choose who you want in there anyway, and you couldn't. Like, if I was getting stuck with a bunch of, like, poorly done creator wrestlers that I only did because the game prompted me to, that would be kind of an annoying thing. Pick on John Silver, Johnny Hungy.
contest is an unsanctioned lights-out match.
This will be a highly exciting match.
Well, we'll see about that.
Way to the ring. Penta el Zero Miedo. And his opponent, John Silver.
I like how they start with a few weapons already in the ring, just set up nice and early if you're so inclined to use a weapon early on. Okay, well, since I accidentally paused, let's see. What are our moves? We saw a few of those package pile drivers during the last Casino Battle Royale match. This is AEW Fight Forever on NashvilleLou Live. Here on Twitch, I'm Lou Pickney, your host. That pop-up powerbomb.
1, 2.
The crowd was buying that. I don't know why, but they were. Trying to pick up the sledgehammer. That's one annoyance. You have to, those buttons kind of double up. Whoa. Yeah, when he lands on the weapon, that's great. Just extra damage. You go get some thumbtacks. Wisely, I wore a bodysuit. John Silver considerably less. Oh no. Johnny Hungy said, not so fast, pal. Gonna suplex you off the apron into the ring. You're gonna kendo stick. I've heard those kendo sticks are terrible. You want no part of those. Ah, guitar time. Greetings from Nashville, pal. Oh, I missed. We'll just German suplex you through the railing and you'll no-sell it. See if you no-sell that body slam on the floor. Crowbar. Johnny Silver dazed. Delayed German suplex. Oops, I didn't mean to. No. Come on. All right. Now we're talking. Suddenly gets welts all over his body. You got another one of those? Okay, never mind. We'll check back later. See if you have more in supply. Oh, I missed. Man, those fans, unimpressed. 3 German suplexes through the barricades there at ringside. Meanwhile, the people on the other side of the ring are like, hey, come on. We're getting a nice view of the post. Place is getting torn apart like it's Jay White versus Juice Robinson at the Cow Palace in 2018. Need Jim Ross to take a bump and then Josh Barnett to go out and go crazy. Like, that legitimately happened as far as, like, Jim Ross taking an unplanned bump when they did a throw spot out. There's a shovel. Boink, boink. It was an Irish whip, like, into the barricade that, with a broadcast table right there at ringside, and Jim Ross, who has health issues, not anyone you want to have taken a bump, especially when he's not ready for it. And Josh Barnett on color commentary was livid to the point he legitimately, it was unplanned. Look at that. Powerbomb into the stairs there by Penta on Johnny Hungy. So Barnett legitimately got up and chased Jay White in the middle of the match. And it was a testament to both White and Juice Robinson. They were able, after that, which was the most intensity I've ever seen at a wrestling show, more than 33 years ago into them, because it was real. I was hoping it was like Josh Barnett's just an amazing at selling, being very angry like that. It reminded me of the time I saw MMA at a bar in Birmingham, Alabama in circa 2007. That type of intensity. Like, there's a special kind of intensity for MMA, live MMA. As much as I'm not a huge MMA fan, for live MMA, that I've never experienced anything quite like that, as far as that palpable, you can feel the intensity, and it's something like, and maybe in a large arena it's not the same, and part of that's like seeing a band at a small show venue versus like a 10,000 seat arena. Maybe it's a different feel. I don't know, but that intensity is something else. And that intensity is what I felt when Josh Barnett got up and chased Jay White, but then him going back and doing the broadcast. And normally think, okay, part of the show, Lou. Right. But no, that was all legitimate. Well, I'm just beating the holy hell out of John Silver outside the ring. Dude's like, come on, give me something. Oh, here we go. Thumbtacks. That's what I was looking for originally. Went to buy milk and picked up 10 boxes of cereal. The blood's not going to show as well on the red mat. I didn't really think that through too well. I wonder if I do like a running move, like, there we go. Yes! Look at that! Penta, like he's Kota Ibushi, springboard out of the corner, like a Hangman Page type move. German suplex. We're going to tear up all these barricades. Getting yelled at like Sami Callihan did at that one show from the promoter. Got mad at him for messing up all the chairs. Like on the microphone, they tell him to stop. There, those fans that only got to see the post. Here's another show of the post. Right there. And again. That's a really cool feature they have in the game where you can do the... Like, it's very intuitive as far as helping you... Well, is there nothing left under the ring? Oh, here's the skillet. Let me go help you clean up here. Whoa, what did I just drop there? What did I have? Was that a shoe? Was that like the gimmicked Young Bucks spiked sneaker? Oh. Yeah, someone knocked him out of his shoes. Surprise. Okay, use the signature with the frying pan? I'll never know. Man. Hope John Silver's getting like hazard pay. No, this is not falls count anywhere. Settle down, Penta. I just hit the wrong button. Whoa. Did I jump into the crowd? Like, you can't put any sort of logos or images or even, like, extra colors on the white railings. A little house cleaning. And we'll bloody up this a little bit here, too. All right. Let's try it again. Got it! Penta taking flight again. Silver's out there trying to chill out. Got a challenge complete. Knee strike there on Silver by Penta. That did not sound like a pleasant landing at all. I can use that shoe on me. Let's go brawl up here. I haven't really done much with that. Go up the ramp. Oh, we'll destroy this one. So what if I destroy this? Oh, can you do it this one? Oh my goodness. I guess you can't knock him off the stage. Those fans, they're not exactly shy about getting close to the action. Oh, I was trying to catch him on the run, but he hit the running offense on me. Okay, let's see if we can destroy the AEW games. Or if that's like a solid wall. Oh, not so solid. Underneath an LED screen. Now, would you have like a solid image on top of it? That's one way to get an insurance claim. All right, one more. Whoa, extra bright. There we go. You know, the funny thing, I bet you if they were given the time and put in the position, allowed to do a match like this, John Silver and Penta could actually probably have a really good match. I mean, they're both good work. I mean, Silver, it's tough because, I mean, most of the people in AEW are good workers. If you're not, you're just not going to last there. Another one of those made in Japan. Shades of Shingo Takagi. Only this time it was on the, I don't know if that's a steel entrance ramp there that looks like almost like a that metal type surface just painted red. Oof. I haven't really done any fighting here into the tunnel. I'm guessing you can't walk through here. Nope. Magically blocked, sir. Knock him off, come on. Was he kind of stuck there? Oh. Yeah, strike proficiency, but the guy's trapped. Okay, enough. Uh-oh. Sledge versus a broom. The sledge wins. At least drop him on the thumbtacks once, right? Only fair. Even just like this, the boom, slam him down into the mat. Nope, of course he reverses it this time. Right into that broom. Whoa, the wind up. Let's see if I can get some sort. Oh, no, that's what I was going for. Gotta lock up first into the throw. Let's see if I can superplex him onto the tacks. Or let's do a snap suplex into the corner. Those corner moves are so dangerous. In real life, the risk reward. I mean, after what happened to Shinjiro Otani, I tend to think of that a little bit differently. The severe injury he suffered taking a German suplex into the corner. Oh my goodness, the kendo stick. Uh-oh. Silver's pumped up. So I'm wrestling as Pentagon Jr. against John Silver here in AEW Fight Forever in a lights out match, a weapons match. I want to do some sort of like simple move just to slam onto the tacks. Just there we go. The tacks in the back. There we go. See that? Tack sticking out of his back. See, there's like, oh, I think he has the darker blood. We got some fresh blood, so to speak. Look at that, it's the blood on the turnbuckle pad there. Somebody tell Toriano to get in here and tear that pad out of their stat. Guess I landed far enough away from the tacks, or maybe my bodysuit protects me. Oh! Oh, I shouldn't have gone for that extra kick. Paid the price for sending Hungy out of the ring, so we'll do a springboard dive to the outside. Oh, you can still see the tacks in his back there. Look at that. Oh my goodness. He keeps landing on that like translucent table there. The wood table on the wood floor. I'm putting the boots to him. You got tacks in your back. You got me stomping away on your knees. Look at that. Hope we'll get tired doing the... I'm gonna kick you until I get tired. There, let him sell it for a minute after all that. A little slow to the top rope at this point in the match. I got caught belly to belly on the floor by John Silver. My goodness. Oh, the crowbar. Johnny Hungy wants revenge. Oh, I should not have gone running into that. I thought I was going to catch him with a running strike, and he struck harder. He had the crowbar. Lesson learned. Oh. I like the random blood there on the edge of the ring, but not like in a where it's like obviously just like predetermined where the blood was gonna go. Of course, now apparently this is a blood-resistant floor. Only the finest wood paneling here. Man, now that I've destroyed all the barriers, I don't have anything to whip Silver into as far as near the fan. So, whoa, I didn't mean to pause it. Oh, that's so annoying. On the floor, into the, oh my goodness, into the side of the apron with thumbtacks sticking out of his back. And then with those thumbtacks still in there, made in Japan on the floor by Penta. We've run out of weapons, sir. Selling the back. There we go. Yes, get back into the ring, please, Penta. All right, now dance. No fear. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Weapon finisher, weapon finisher. Oh my goodness, it's on fire. Whoa. Okay, that qualifies as a good finish. Is he gonna go for the pin? No, I guess not. Johnny Hungy comes alive. Put the shoe on. Super kick. Oh. That suit not quite tack-proof, apparently. Uh-oh. Man, if you've got tack sticking in your back, you don't want to miss on an elbow drop. Man, I'm hurting. Look at that. Walk around like I'm Tanahashi. Oh! Again, in the corner. Even more blood in the corner there. Oof. Let's see if this will do it.
1, 2, 3.
Here is your winner, Penta.
Oh, I guess I can take control. Well,
What an amazing match we've had tonight.
a little extra damage. Oh, you're going to punch me? Well, here we go again. Whoa, look at that score. 69.90. 6 stars. 7 stars. I haven't had just a whole lot of lights out matches, but Penta and John Silver raising the bar. Hey, Nemo, hello. And yeah, it's a fun game to play. I think the Casino Battle Royale match works really well for live streaming. And I already had a few of those earlier. I think I'm going to do one more match. I have to somewhat pace myself since I have a Blockchain Brawlers tournament at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and then Forsaken Blitz for hours tomorrow afternoon, starting at 4 Eastern, 20:00 UTC. So, but this is my new Wednesday night game. It makes sense to play AEW Fight Forever right after AEW Dynamite ends on the East Coast. And you get the daily challenges as well, and I'm not going to chase the money on the hard difficulties. It even shows you the timer as far as how much time you got left. I guess it's set to local because I'm Central Time Zone. 52 minutes to midnight local. Oh yeah, it was against the CPU player. I haven't done any online against somebody. I don't know that I would enjoy that very much. Just with the lag and then the way you have to like really button mash to kick out, which annoys me. And also like has the potential to hurt me because of carpal tunnel. And, you know, typing is something I have to do for my livelihood. So if I have to choose my battles on that. Anyway, that's the long way of me saying that no, that was not against a human opponent. Although that would have been cool if it had been and we made it work. I mean, maybe it's great and maybe it's smooth, but with the timing being so precise with some of this, it's kind of tough. And which Adam? Was Adam Cole or Adam Page? Adam Page. That I need to complete or defeat a computer opponent to get that extra bonus. Let's see, yeah, versus CPU player. And I'll note in chat here that I haven't tried online play yet. It's weird because I talk about playing AEW Fight Forever online, but by online I mean streaming it online and me playing the computer. Now, if you could have a great experience playing against, like, I don't know how many friends of mine have this game necessarily that be wanting to play online, but for people that are on the younger end of the demo, I imagine it'd be more so. Anyway, let's get that last match knocked out here for the bonus, and then I'll go ahead and wrap it up for the stream, because I'll be back on the air in less than 9 hours as the start of that tournament tomorrow, so got that going on. I know 5 a.m. Pacific is tough for some people. I was talking with Brichter about that. But then again, Thursday being a work day for a lot of people. I mean, for me, every day is a work day, but when you own your own business, there's some latitude, so I can schedule certain things. And for tournaments, I make a priority, since that's great content that I don't have to organize. I get to participate, and as long as I stay in the particular tournament, I get to keep going with it. Okay, I went the wrong direction. Need to go for the A. There's Adam Cole and Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page. One gear. The price you charge for this game, and you can't give me a secondary gear yet. They can't even let me change it. It's an area where they could add that, and I hope they will here. They probably will. And look, it's easy to complain about stuff, but there's a lot I like about this game. Hangman Page versus Sting. I doubt they're ever going to do this as a singles match in AEW. I mean, Sting is in his 60s. It doesn't make sense for him to do singles matches. But that's the power of video games. And AEW has talent under contract that isn't active talent, but I would love to have Dean Malenko in this game. Give me Malenko versus Bryan Danielson. And then let me actually have an Iron Man match and give me an on-screen clock, and we'll be all set. All right. So Hangman Page and Sting. I'll run this is more or less the design I had in Fire Pro Wrestling World when I first learned about AEW, but didn't know at all what it was going to look like, aside from seeing the logo because of the trademark filing and all. And what I came up with, and if you look on my clips here on Twitch, for those of you watching here on Twitch, the number one clip all time is from 4 years ago. And you compare that with what AEW ended up doing and what they have now. I mean, they don't have the red ring post like I had, and they don't have that white middle rope, but they got red ropes now. They had it where there's advertising tastefully done at times with the barriers. Here I've got just the more traditional barriers there, but you have very limited options with some of the stuff in Create an Arena. That leaves a lot to be desired. There's a lot of room for improvement, put it like that. And they should know better on all of this. And that irritates me to a degree, but I mean, if you have certain priorities for getting a game out, I guess you choose what you have to get out there first and maybe fix the rest later.
This bout is set for one fall.
Man, this should be one hell of a singles match.
Unenthused Jim Ross.
Making his way to the ring. Hangman Adam Page.
Scorch Stars. Is that what it's called?
And his opponent. This is Sting.
All right, so I'm wrestling as Hangman Adam Page taking on Sting. Now let me point out here. I guess I will go ahead and pull up the moves list for me. It says Adam Page. That's his name, right? You'll notice when we go back to the in-ring, it says Hangman, which I know he's Hangman Adam Page, but it's odd for the in-game recognition or the name But problem is, if you put his name is Adam, then you get confused with Adam Cole, baby. If you put Page, there's Ethan Page in that company. There's the former Page, Saraya, and those two aren't in the game yet, but should be. There's the bigger issue why you can't just put the full name in there. But again, that's a minor quibble in the grand scheme of things. I didn't really pay attention to the important part here. So the fall away slam moonsault's in there. You get the buckshot and the dead eye for the finishers. Okay. I'll probably just pop up powerbomb my way to setting that up if I can do that against Sting. I think it would be great to have like the younger version of Sting as an in-game thing, like Surfer Sting from 1991. You can try to either block a strike or block a grapple. Or you just try and get a strike in before your opponent does. But your momentum plays a large part as far as like how easy or difficult it is to block. Like I've got a much higher momentum at the moment over Sting. Super kick off the apron there. Oh! Nailed it there. The tope from Hangman on Sting. German suplex. There's the front view of it. Sting wobbly. Face first into the ground. Nearly head first into that post. Well, I've got my special. Sting's got his signature. Oh, Stinger splash. My special's about to run out. Didn't quite get it in time there. Like right there, gave me like a little bit of credit for a strike because I got a little bit of Sting, but not enough to take him down, where I was actually kind of tired after it for a moment, which is realistic. It shouldn't, like if you barely strike somebody, it's going to have a different effect as far as the way the crowd responds and the way it would make sense for things to go in a wrestling match. Oh, I got reversed. Powerbomb by Hangman Adam Page on Sting. Oh, Sting's got a signature. Actually, I gotta move. Oh, didn't get away in time. Tried to reverse it. Scorpion Death Drop. Uh-oh. This could do it. Go to the button mashing thing that I despise. Okay, yes, I was able to kick out, but now it's like, great. Now my hand will be hurting later if that's something I do repeatedly. And again, if it were something where I was like a unique thing that I suffered with, that'd be one thing, but there are a lot of wrestling fans in their 40s, you might notice. The nostalgia from the days before Vince McMahon had a near total domestic monopoly. Things are different now with AEW, thankfully. Back elbow there by Hangman on Sting. Well, ground and pound. So again, 2 broadcasts slated for you for tomorrow. First one, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. 12:00 UTC for the Blockchain Brawlers Blue Mint Tournament. And then 4 p.m. Eastern, Warsaken Blitz. I'm going to got some giveaways, booster pack giveaways. Of course, the prize wheel, the Warsaken prize wheel. That has been a very popular thing. So that should be a lot of fun coming up tomorrow. So I do have, I would love to keep playing this game even beyond this match tonight, but my voice at some point will give way, and I have to kind of pace myself with that. Well, it's kind of risky for me there with Sting having a special. Let's take a powder. Let's see if I can get Sting to do a dive. Oh. Sting went for that sliding tackle, and that's... Oh, I'm trying to run into the ring while he's doing the taunt. Oh, Sting. Ready for me. I don't know how Sting got head damage when I kicked him in the crotch, but some things in life I can't explain. Pop-up powerbomb. Oh, I'm trying to go top rope. Well, that's one way to do it. Springboard body press there by Hangman Page. There it is, the dead eye. Dropped Sting. Oh my goodness. What happened to Sting? Ew, man. It's kind of hard to have your shoulders pinned down to that position. I would quit.
And we got to call it. We got to see it.
Well, I guess I can take control, can't I? But I'll wait too long. Okay. Alright, so I got the win. I get the extra AEW cash, which I don't really need at this point. I got most stuff unlocked, but they're going to keep adding stuff, so it will come to use at some point, I'm sure. Tell you, the time flies when I live stream this game. It's a lot of fun. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here in just a moment. Get the slate up. Again, next broadcast for me, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be on a few minutes before that. They'll have 5 minutes before the tournament. Blue Mint, the way they do it is great. They unveil the bracket, so I can do that live on stream. Show you who I've matched up against. We'll have that with Blockchain Brawlers tomorrow morning. Morning Nashville time, 8 a.m. Eastern, 12:00 UTC. And then back 4 p.m. Eastern, 20:00 UTC with Warsaken Blitz. Live player versus player. Gonna have the queue. And I imagine people will be getting there early. Knowing how it normally goes. People excited about playing with a chance, if they beat me, to get a spin on the Warsaken prize wheel. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. And again, 8 a.m. tomorrow Eastern with Blockchain Brawlers, 4 p.m. Eastern, Warsaken Blitz. And as long as my voice holds up, we'll go with that. Check one thing here real quick. Well, Captain Degen is online, so I'll do a raid to him in just a moment. I'll do a SIG out first for the VOD and for YouTube, and then we'll do a raid over to Captain Degen. So that's going to do it for this broadcast of NashvilleLou Live. I'm your host, Lou Pickney. Thanks for watching. See you next time.